One wrong number would have brought 100 cops upstairs. Harrison enters the 8-digit code anyway, opens Leon Prater's vault, and gets Dexter out alive. By the time officers reach the room, Batista is dead, Prater is missing, and the gun points them toward the man who owns the building. On paper, it is the kind of escape Dexter has been pulling off for years, except this time, he doesn't leave the gala carrying the only version of what happened. Harrison knows how he got out, what he removed from the vault, and what condition Prater was in when they separated. The person who saved Dexter is now the one part of the scene Dexter can never clean. That problem begins with Ryan Foster. Harrison doesn't enter Ryan's hotel room looking for someone to kill. He sees Ryan taking Shauna upstairs when she can barely stand. Ryan attacks him after Harrison tries to get her out. Harrison grabs the porcelain lid from the toilet tank and fights back, and Harrison keeps hitting him. The fight may be improvised, the cleanup isn't. Harrison cleans the room, moves Ryan's body into the hotel kitchen, cuts it into 9 pieces, and sends the bags out with the garbage. Dexter hears that number while recovering in Iron Lake. 9 pieces. He taught Harrison that method after the Kurt Caldwell kill. The cleanup is good enough to delay the NYPD. It isn't good enough to satisfy Claudette Wallace. The plastic shower curtain liner is new. The toilet tank lid doesn't match the bowl. Porcelain dust is embedded in Ryan's head wound, and the hotel's cameras show Harrison helping Ryan and Shauna onto the 11th floor. There are 124 cameras inside the Empire Hotel. After Harrison arrives upstairs, he disappears from every one of them until 4:15 the next afternoon. To Wallace, those missing hours matter more than the footage she does have. Dexter is already dealing with the part she cannot see. After entering the active crime scene, he works out that Harrison used the kitchen. The counters are steel, the knives are close, and the room is cleaned every night. Harrison chose well. He still missed a spot of blood on the ceiling. Dexter wipes it away. For most of his life, that has been enough. Find the trace, remove it, and give the police a better explanation. What he cannot solve is Harrison. Guilt is doing to his son what it has never done to him. When they finally sit down together, Dexter talks about Ryan as if this might be the beginning of a code. Ryan was a predator. Stopping him saved other women. Harrison wants none of that reasoning. He sees Ryan's face in nightmares. The ticking of Ryan's repaired watch follows him everywhere. He tells Dexter he can't carry the guilt and had been on his way to turn himself in. Then Harrison says the sentence Dexter cannot file away as a forensic mistake.
If you weren't you, I never would have killed Ryan.
This is the part that changes the entire father-son story for me. Harrison isn't asking Dexter to teach him control. He is telling Dexter that his example helped create the thing he now wants to escape. Dexter understands at least part of it. Later, he calls Harrison's attempted confession proof of a humanity he will never have. He protects him anyway. Mia LaPierre gives Dexter a way to redirect the case. She is known as Lady Vengeance and keeps trophies from her victims, although she admits that many of those men were not predators at all. While Mia prepares to kill another man in her apartment, Dexter plants Ryan's repaired watch among her trophies and adds the same kind of oxidized bleach used at the hotel. Then he calls the police. Mia is arrested at the scene. The watch and bleach give investigators a clean answer for Ryan's murder, and the pressure moves away from Harrison. Harrison then asks Dexter if he did it. Dexter doesn't deny it. He apologizes for overstepping. It solves the immediate problem, but Batista is already following another pattern. In episode 6, Batista tells Wallace exactly what he believes. Harrison killed Ryan Foster using methods taught by Dexter, and Dexter planted the watch to frame Mia. Wallace hears the theory. She simply doesn't accept it as proof. 2 episodes later, Batista begins an official recorded log while trying to prove Dexter is the Bay Harbor Butcher. Wallace later hears one of his recordings after finding him at a suspected kill room. The recordings do not prove his theory, but they leave a trail another investigator can follow. Then the finale gives Batista's theory something stronger, a witness who walks out alive. The detail I keep coming back to isn't the syringe, it's the phone. Dexter unlocks Batista's phone inside the vault and uses it to call Harrison. Harrison immediately asks why his father is calling from a cop's phone. Dexter tells him that Prater killed Batista and that he is next. Their connection continues while Harrison takes a last-minute catering shift, enters the gala, and moves through the service corridors toward the penthouse. Charlie catches him before he reaches the vault. Dexter finds Prater's file on her, uses it to force her to release Harrison, and keeps directing him through Batista's phone. We don't know whether that call ever becomes evidence. We do know it happened. At the keypad, Dexter warns Harrison that they only get one attempt. A wrong code will trigger the alarm. Harrison can still walk away. Just give me the code, Dad. The door opens. Harrison steps into a room filled with trophies from serial killers. He watches Dexter pack files on killers Prater had been tracking. Then Dexter turns around because he forgot the fake thumbprint he needs to leave the building. Harrison has questions. He also refuses to abandon him. Prater catches Harrison on the way out and uses him to bring Dexter back. When Prater raises his gun, Harrison drives the sedative syringe Dexter gave him into Prater's chest. The shot goes into the ceiling. Prater collapses. Without Harrison, Dexter dies in that building. That is the strongest case against everything I'm arguing. Then Harrison asks what they are going to do with Prater. Dexter stops him at the word "we" and orders him to leave. Harrison does not watch Dexter kill Prater. He does not help dismember the body, clean the room, or carry the bags to the boat. Dexter is still trying to keep a boundary between his son and the kill, but the boundary now runs through the middle of one crime scene. Harrison knows his father called from Batista's phone after Batista died. He knows Prater trapped Dexter inside a private collection of serial killer evidence. He entered the code, saw Dexter remove files, heard about the fake thumbprint, and left Prater sedated on the floor with Dexter standing over him. Hours later, Prater is gone. The police find Batista's body, Prater's collection, and Batista's gun with Prater's prints on it. That physical evidence gives Dexter a convincing story without requiring him to say a word. Harrison carries a different story out of the building. I don't think Harrison is waiting for a chance to betray his father. He has protected Dexter repeatedly, and the finale gives him every chance to leave before he finally refuses. Exposure doesn't require betrayal, though. It can begin with two people being asked the same question in separate rooms. Wallace has already shown how she handles a story that doesn't fit the cameras. With Ryan, she used Harrison's missing hours to reconstruct the room, the kitchen, and the garbage route almost exactly. Harrison receives a call placed from Batista's phone, takes a last-minute catering shift at Prater's gala, and gains first-hand knowledge of a vault the police discover later that night. Wallace hasn't connected any of this yet. The show has simply left those facts sitting in her path. Dexter's final monologue makes that possibility harder to ignore. He says Harrison can lean on him. When his darker urges return, he can lean on Harrison to become more human, more connected. He does not say Harrison will help him kill, and the finale never establishes a new criminal partnership. What it establishes is dependence. Dexter spent years surviving because only he knew the whole story. After Prater's vault, that is no longer true. He can remove blood from a ceiling. He can plant a watch. He can let Prater's fingerprints provide the explanation. He cannot decide what Harrison remembers. If Wallace ever asks both men to explain that night, Dexter will no longer be the only person writing the answer.